Hello, Tina. How are you today?
I am doing excellent, thank you.
Well, thank you very much for coming in.
Of course.
So, you had lipo done at least 1 month ago, correct?
Yes, that's absolutely correct.
So, tell me a little bit about why did you have it done?
I actually didn't think I was the type of person who would ever have it done. I thought it was for people who were really well-to-do and really had a lot of time to recover and things like that. And the video that I saw online about liposuction scared me to death. So I never thought I would do something like this. I gave birth to twins when I was 41, and no matter what you do, there's still that area that's really hard to get rid of. And it got me really depressed and self-conscious. And then I saw something more online about the tickle procedure and started investigating, those options. And after consulting with you, felt that was the right option for me. It was not invasive like the scary things I saw online, and it was very cost effective for me and it fit my budget. No downtime, so I didn't have to worry about missing any work. So I really wanted to do it to feel better about myself. So it was an opportunity to help me do that. So that's why I came in.
Okay, so let's just go back. You mentioned about the scary video. Okay.
Yes, traditional liposuction with the big probes and the constant back and forth ramming and jamming. I was like, how possibly would someone want to do that? Because it's so invasive to me. And then hearing about how they have to lay down in the recovery period, it was something that I never would want to experience or go through. So
was it more the fear of the kind of procedure, or more just the excessive downtime that you would have with the procedure and or the costs? I mean, which you had to list it by 1, 2,
right.
What would you say?
Rank of all of it would be just the visual of what the doctor or whoever is doing it there, just the technique of it. It was really scary for me. The second was cost, because I did look and didn't know about the tickle procedure. So the traditional liposuction is pretty expensive. And then I think it would be the downtime after that. It was third on my list.
Okay, so you talked about lipo and talked about the fact that this is probably not something for you, one, because of the severe procedure, two, because of the costs. But obviously you kept thinking about it.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So what led you to finding Tickle? How did just internet search, some ad, or what?
To be honest, it was the ad. I'm part of like the Groupon, Amazon kind of email coupons that you get. So that's when I saw it first. And then what really helped is seeing the website, seeing the actual pictures, I did research then following up on some other things online, so actually seeing the procedure done. And I was skeptical because I saw someone laughing. We'll talk about that, I'm sure, later, but seeing someone actually giggling during the procedure, I'm like, okay, that's got to be fake. That's, kidding me? Who's going to giggle? And then just, again, the testimonials I think is very important, not just on your website, but seeing testimonials from other people like you. There's different things you can Google on reviews of people. I think that was also important to see how other people felt about it. So that's how I learned about Tickle a little bit more.
So you saw the video of Tickle. Mm-hmm. So that's fixed, that's fake, that's been trumped up, and someone's just doing this, but nothing's really happening. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're on the table having it done. What were you thinking at that point?
Okay, well, first, I really did appreciate everybody making sure I was comfortable at every step of the way. And it wasn't like, okay, it's been 5 minutes, I'm going to check on them, are they okay? It was generally looking at my how my eyes were, or was I smiling or grimacing or anything like that. It was truly, let me make sure you're okay. Now, I had the upper and lower abs done, so I don't know if there's tickling, if you do your thighs, your arms, or anything like that. But especially when you're getting around the rib area work, it tickled. And I tried stopping myself from giggling because I didn't know if it would affect what was being done during the procedure. But then I was comforted to know that, no, if you need to laugh, laugh. And I did, especially around the rib area. It was just tickles. Now, people experience things different, I'm sure. I was, the fear of the unknown. So I was worried, well, what does the incision feel like? And what does it feel to actually have the device put into you? And needles don't mean anything to me. They're easy. I didn't feel the injection. I didn't feel the incision. You feel a little tightness when that kind of probe goes in, if that's the proper thing to use, the device. Other than that, I didn't really feel anything. So it was kind of amazing. Totally different than the videos I saw of traditional liposuction.
So now at that point in time, you're looking at the video that you didn't believe anything is possible. That this person was really faking the whole procedure. Right. And now you're feeling the exact same thing or seeing what she was experiencing. Exactly.
It's
not fake.
It's not fake at all.
It's real.
I giggled. I totally giggled. Yeah.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, 0 being 1 being minimal to no pain whatsoever with the procedure, 10 being the worst pain you ever felt with the procedure. How would you rank this procedure? The procedure itself.
For me personally, and I truly do have a higher pain tolerance as well, but I maybe 2 or 3 tops. The procedure itself wasn't bad, and even afterwards, the recovery, I didn't feel as bad either. I guess the only thing I would recommend is really talking about just kind of the ooziness, because all the liquid that's injected, to make sure that you're comfortable with the pain medication, it has to come out somewhere. So I think that was more uncomfortable than the actual physical pain. It was just a weird feeling because you are draining for a while. It's not that long, I think mine was maybe 12 hours. But that was something that kind of took me by surprise of how much you actually do drain out.
Now we do counsel that you to be saggy.
Yes. You can, but it's until you actually experience it, it's a little interesting.
It's a little more graphic as far as being drippy and there's salt.
It can be. And, you have to be, you do counsel us of making sure you have clothes that you're comfortable getting dirty or throwing away afterwards. And it is really true. You do, but it's such a minor inconvenience compared to the immediate results that I saw. And the immediate results, I was laying on the couch after I got home, just, kicking my feet up, relaxing. And my husband walked in and he's like, wow, you can totally tell a difference. He goes, you can really see, especially with my upper abs. He was like, just night and day. And then he would leave and then he'd come back and he's like, wow, I can't believe the difference. And so that,
for a guy to notice,
it completely did. And it wasn't that, oh, honey, your hair looks good today. No, it was like, wow. And every time he'd walk in, I could see him looking at me and go, wow. And that, I wasn't doing it for my husband. I was really doing it for my confidence level and to make, myself feel better and help me just continue that on. But wow, it was at a boost for me. So that was nice.
That's nice support.
Yeah, it was.
Leading up to the procedure, did you feel that, even though you didn't believe the video, did you feel that everything else was consistent with, say, what we discussed at time of consultation? What we sent you as far as information before the procedure, talking with the people to get your garment. Yeah. Was anything missing that you felt that, okay, geez, I wish I would have known, besides for the sogginess,
yeah.
Was there anything missing, that you felt like would be added to, more additional information that would be helpful to ease your transition through the procedure?
I don't believe so. I think my only recommendation there sometimes was a little too much information. And it's odd that one would say that, but some of the information of the pre-procedure instructions, the medications that you do recommend you stay away from, some of the foods, things like that. Sometimes it was repetitive, which of course that's good. And I'm a person who I like to go through lists over and over again, but there was just so much information, good information, but there was a lot of it that I wanted to make sure that I had it all down. But I knew exactly what was going to happen that day. I knew that I could call you at any time if I had any problems afterwards. So I think it was all fine. Yeah.
once you got home, once you got over your sogginess, once you got over the wow effect from your husband, what was your routine? I mean, how much did you slow down your routine? How quickly did you go back to your normal routine over the period of days post-procedure?
The next day I went back to work, and I do have a sit-down job, mostly computer. So I had to consciously make sure that every hour I did get up, because, the garment you wear is actually really comfortable. It looks very old-fashioned and something that someone wore a long time ago, but it is comfortable when you get this procedure done, and afterwards too. So I didn't change my routine in the fact of, if I take my dog for a walk, I still took my dog for a walk, but I maybe didn't go as long because I wanted to, make sure I'm doing everything proper. I made sure that I got up every hour. I did a lot of massaging of the area, especially after I got home and still had some of the medications that were in my system, really rubbing and working everything. I think that helped a lot. But other than that, I really didn't change anything that I did.
So let's grade the post-op discomfort. 1 being minimal discomfort post-op, 10 being the worst. How would you grade that first day or two post-procedure?
Well, the first day, not bad at all, because again, you still do have the medications in your body that was put in, but then you have, if you do need further pain medication, that's available to you. I would say the second day was probably when I started experiencing, and it was more like muscle ache. Like if you work out too hard and your muscles are sore, so like if you bend a certain way, you're like, ugh. It was more like that, not a sharp stabbing pain by any means, more like, wow, my muscles hurt. So that lasted maybe 2 or 3 days. Of course, the second day when all your meds are out of your system, you feel it more, but then it gradually goes away. But it was more of that. Like if you move too quickly, you're like, oh, it was, you felt like you did a big workout, which your body probably did, but that's how it felt.
You mentioned the beginning of this offhand. I'll just ask it again, be more explicit.
Sure.
Was the procedure worth what you paid?
Absolutely. Yeah, it absolutely was. No doubt. No doubt at all. I was also, I think, I caught a special going on, which was really good, and the price point for me, perfect. And my husband was so comfortable with it because we also had that very elevated cost of traditional lipo that we had in our head. So I was very fortunate to find that cost savings in addition. I think that if that cost savings wasn't there, I still would have done the procedure because it wasn't as much as I thought it would be. So I think I benefited from that special you guys had running, but I think I would have still paid that normal price because I thought it was very fair.
For people that are in your situation and looking at liposuction, liposculpture, whatever I call it, and having the fears that you listed before as far as the pain, the costs, the downtime, that type of thing, what would be your counsel to them if they were coming to you and saying,
right.
I understand what you went through, I'm going through right now, give me some words of advice.
Yes, research, not I sound like an after-school special. Knowledge is power, doing all your research. And I think it is really, it's hard, It's hard just to see what's on the internet and web because you don't know what's true and what's false. And so really, first step, coming in and talking to you and your staff is important. Really seeing who you are because probably anybody could do a procedure like this, no offense, but it's the care, support, and understanding you get from the staff and the members here that I think elevates it a little bit, that caring and that compassion. It's not just, let's get another body in here. It's, how is this going to work for you? And I want you to truly be comfortable and understand what you're getting into. So I think coming in for a consultation is key. The second is, things like this, doing the videos and hearing other people speak about it. I have been a firm believer that talking to the people who have had it done or hearing how the procedure was by the person who experienced it is so important and powerful. So having a referral program or having, if people are comfortable saying, hey, go ahead and email me and ask me questions. I'll let you know the truth. I think that's the second thing people need to know. And make sure that they're comfortable with it. I mean, it's hard, again, you've never experienced it and you're afraid of the unknown, but if you can afford it and you know that this is, again, not a weight loss program. This isn't something like now I can go eat a whole bunch of ho-hos because I could always just get this done again. It's not. It's an opportunity to give that, oh my gosh, that power back of things you may have lost, of being depressed or upset that you can't lose something that probably could never go away on its own. So just making sure that, this is an opportunity to go to that next level for yourself.
So how would you summarize your, I'll say emotional state, but just how you feel about yourself prior to this procedure and now 1 month out? Yeah.
I've always, my whole life, been a very positive person. I've been such a nurturer, a giver, a caretaker to all my friends and family. And when, at the age of 41, having those twins and seeing, that my body is never going to go back, I'm a little bit older and twins kind of put a number on you. I was at the lowest self-esteem I've ever had in my life. And so I was disappointed in myself for not being able to find that positive light at the end of the tunnel. And it really, in a little bit, affected my marriage, just because he sees me as a beautiful person to begin with. Why couldn't I? So it was just a really low part in my self-esteem. 1 month after, oh my gosh, I just, a lot of hugs in the household, a lot of family support, because I was very open with my family of what I wanted to have done, and they, top concern, is it safe for you? And they're supportive of me and how I feel. I always have a smile on my face. I don't shy away from mirrors when I walk through the house anymore. I kind of like, hey, so it's totally boosted that level for me. So.
Well, again, Tina, thank you very much for coming in and giving us your time, for our patients. Okay?
Perfect.
Take care and have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you much.